Sometimes I want to say to my former friends, you're an Omelasian lot. You are too comfortable, you see, with deciding which child it is okay to hurt. You spend your time justifying the presence of pain and never realize that the only way to move forward is to leave pain behind. But no, you won't hear that because the first thing you're going to do is go, well, this is how you hurt me. And it's like, so does it make it better? You did not say anything about it at that time, and why is that? Because you decided you were going to hold on to it for fuel for later? Every time you felt small, you called pain back into your life. And just like it did last time, it hurt somebody because that's all pain has to do. All he has to do is make somebody feel miserable and you're happy to call them back. You're an Omelasian lot. Because even when you're standing next to utopia, you can't imagine it without pain. And then I would have to stop and tell them what I'm even referring to. And the funny part is, that would be the first question, the best question. What do I mean by an Omelasian lot? I mean, of course, the ones who walk away from Omelas by Ursula K. Le Guin. And that is a title so poignant that you don't even need to read the story to know what it's about. You know immediately. But the more she tells you the story, the more it just makes sense. There's this idea, how does it go? Something about a utopic city that's so good that even if you are a sexual deviant, they're all right with it. Is you absolutely utopic. Not a soul in it suffers, except just one. And we all have to look at them suffering in our time. But you have to see it, and then you can go back to living in utopia. And hey, maybe seeing it is a part of utopia for you. Maybe summoning pain is just how this city is supposed to work. Everybody is happy in Omelas. Nobody has a complaint. Because those who would complain upon seeing this hurt child walk away, they walk away and never turn back. They leave what they thought was utopia because someone told them, "Oh yeah, everything is great here. You just got to be willing to let that child there suffer." So you look for a child who is okay to hurt. You do that again and again and again, stretching into your pitiable eternity. You call that utopia. Your utopia is a place where it's all right to hurt one person. Your path to heaven is that nirvana, paradise, the immortality you lust for. Your key to this is, yeah, I'd be willing to do evil to go on forever. And when somebody says, well, what about doing good? You say, well, no, ugh, I would then have to do good. We are getting ahead of ourselves. But that's a part of the story. You're so married to the idea of Omelas that you're not considering what would happen if you just did better. And the people who walk away, they have to because there is no staying. I've thought about it. If I ever happened upon Omelas in my path to nirvana, it would ruin me. It would turn me around. It would return me to the wheel because I would burn Omelas to the ground. You dare tell me of this city where there is one person everyone is willing to watch suffer? You dare tell me of that and tell me that that is paradise? No, I won't believe that. I am too ancient, too familiar with how this story turns out. I know it just from the title of it. It's like, damn. What I hope as I read this is that you'll prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong so that at my worst of times, I don't think to forsake you. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that I would not rather face fire than suffer those who okay suffering. Prove me wrong so I don't burn Omelas to the ground. But were I to give myself some credit, I think I'd say, no, carry on. Carry on with what? Burning Omelas down? No, no, it would be carry on. Because sure, you could burn all of this to rubble. You could reduce it as such that it doesn't even exist in a story they'll tell kingdoms centuries from now. You could wipe it off the world, and it won't even be a lesson. But to do that, you would have to be alright with hurting another. And at that point, why don't you stay in Omelas? Why don't you stay in its hell, made by pain, in the image of utopia? Because he says, hey, so long as you keep me around, I'll keep you around. You Omelasian lot. I have watched you worship pain for a decade of my life. And in those moments, no time has passed at all. It is only when I walk away from Omelas do I actually see how the world has progressed. Because you tell me to stay home. but all you bring back is ruin. You tell me to stay and be the child that suffers in Omelas, but every time you bring a new face around, it is only to show them, rather, that there is someone suffering. There is two versions of the future I can see when I look back, and there was a very near one. It was one where I experienced joy and saw, oh, none of you are anything like me. The greatest gift I can ever give you is something that lets you be more of yourself. As I go away, go away and realize I must be more of myself. Move on, as it were. I see that future so clearly that sometimes I can reach out and touch it. But pain answers back. And he says, well, you can't this time around. So keep on moving. And the worst part about it all is that while I'm walking away from pain because he has found yet another kingdom, I'm thinking, damn, you all are so afraid of pain and death that you'd rather ignore it than face it head on. And that is why you're always going to be stuck there, because in case you haven't been paying attention, and unfortunately you have not been paying attention, you may have missed the part where I said I want to defeat death. I don't want to make people immortal. I don't want to be immortal myself. I want to defeat death. Come on, come a little closer, come a little closer. I want to defeat the concept of death. You want to beat me or someone else. Everybody has decided it's all right to beat, but I want to beat death. I want to look into the eyes of the Reaper and say, oh, I understand it now. Let's play a game. Ugh, I'm trying to defeat death and you are over there worshiping pain. And like, well, what did pain do for you this time? You find as you grow up and you live in its kingdom, hurt doesn't get you very far. If you have to turn around and hurt somebody, then well, you never go anywhere. You stall. And I look at you stalling. And I say, damn, you were that alright with someone being hurt. You were that alright with me being hurt. It's like you say, well, you hurt me. It's like, no. No, 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 no. I am ancient. You don't know what hurt looks like when I do it because you have never seen it before. You're too young. You should read more stories. It's really that simple. One of them is a big fan of Fate, but he's never read the story of Gilgamesh. He ain't about that infinity. Damn, Orobochi, again, we have to have a conversation, don't we? I hold that thought. Yes, I'll get back to you again, Udabuchi. Where were we going? Back to them. Fine, fine. We'll do that thought later. Damn. No, no, no. I can do the thought in a moment. We were talking about those friends being an Omelasian lot. It's like, I want to take you forward with me so that you can see what it's like to defeat death. But you keep summoning pain back. It's like, listen, I've defeated pain a long time ago. I have learned to walk away. Just walk away. Because I don't need pain in my life. I don't need pain because I've already beat it. And the only way to defeat pain after that is wipe out anybody who knows his name. And again, we can't be erasing kingdoms from stories in the world. We gotta let people live and prosper. We gotta let them see the better world. Or no, 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 no. Actually, that's wrong. The right way to do it isn't to burn Omelas to the ground, but to walk away and come back with the power to tear Omelas down and then build it back up. Build the future on top of the past. Build it so perfectly that pain is, yes, well, like I said, I defeated pain a long time ago. I can destroy pain perfectly. And because you all worship him, well, you all get in the way. But I have bigger fish to fry. Tuh, that Omelasian lot. I hope if you ever listen to me, you can come to understand. But I don't think you ever will. It's a shame. But some of you have at least told me stories of a better tomorrow for those people. One of those friends, her mother watched Ranking of Kings, and not a soul amongst them did, because they don't want to watch a story about a mute boy trying his best. They don't like stories where a person who everyone's called broken is able to thrive and do good. They don't like those type of stories, but that one girl, her mother does. And I find that interesting. Interesting enough to think that when they get older, they can get to a place where they're content in life without calling upon pain. It's like, that's really all I can do. You are the worst, but I hope for the best.